The ocean's a bit in my genes, having the full ancestry of the whalers and the commercial fishing that were in my family. 9 generations of Nantucketers on both sides of my mother and father. Idle time's not my thing. I like to be building and doing stuff with my hands. I've been building and repairing boats for 40 or 50 years, and obviously I guess I'm still doing it. I'm getting a little old for this shit. Growing up on Nantucket, I went through high school. I graduated high school in '72, and it was a completely different world than what's there now. We lived off the land, the hunting and fishing, and that was the lifestyle I grew up with. While I was in college, I started commercial scalloping with my uncle, and there was 150 boats at the time, and it was a good way to make quite a bit of money quickly. Most of the guys bought their supplies locally from the yacht store, the ship's chandlery, and the prices were pretty high. So I went down to New Bedford and talked to old man Charlie Beckman, and he handed me the big 3-inch marine catalog and said, hey, you can get wholesale prices on anything you want. And I started Brant Point Marine, and it was a hit right out of the gate. There were 150 bay scalloping boats when I started. The fishery was heavy, and I started, for the first time in my life, making some real money selling marine supplies.
Rick's had the business at 78, but 1991 is when I came on board, yeah. Our life is in and around the water. We're commercial fishing people. We surf, we sail. The ocean is a big part of our lives.
Our kids have always sailed with us. Zach was 3 months old on the boat, and from 3 months to 3 years old, he lived on the boat every summer. And in the winter, we sailed. And Maya sailed with us. She was a year old, and we were doing deliveries in the Caribbean. So she has a lot of sailing experience as well.
When my son was in his later years in high school, he was doing all the things he shouldn't have done. And we sent him off to a camp of sorts. And when he got out of that, my wife said, no, we said, what do we do? Put him back in the same knuckleheads he's hanging with, or do we? She said, take him sailing. I said, all right. So I bought Alexandra 50-foot trimaran, and we got it down to Florida, and we sailed it over to the Bahamas, and Zach homeschooled his junior year in high school, and we kind of lived off the sea, if you will, in the Bahamas for 3 months, catching fish and homeschooling and with family and friends, or just Zach and I. He still says, and we all say, it's one of the best things he's ever done. We keep our boat in St. Martin, and it's right in the hurricane belt, but I had it in a very good boat yard. But then Irma became the strongest hurricane in Atlantic history. It switched directions and it just T-boned St. Martin and just destroyed this island. I was looking at the helicopter footage of the boatyard trying to see my boat. Finally, after 2.5 weeks, my friends started getting solar panels and recharging batteries and getting hotspots and getting some sort of emails out. And then I saw my sailboat. I could see from the pictures the boat was pretty much destroyed. It had flipped off of its boat stands, and one of the pontoons was snapped, the 2 beams were snapped, centerboard broke in half, engine driven up into the hull, rudder smashed in, 20 holes in the boat. I mean, the thing was total.
No, I think that Rick figures it out as he goes along. If there's a possibility to do something in a much different way than most people do them, it's Rick's way of putting the boat back together.
It's almost miraculous that this project came together the way it did. There were 5 of these Contour 50s built. I found a sister ship in San Diego that was going to an auction, 3 weeks after my boat got destroyed. It's a long story, but I did it. I went out there with a crew from Nantucket, and we completely dismantled this boat for the parts that I needed. I got $200,000 worth of parts for $10,000. I had to do it. I put all that stuff on a cargo carrier, shipped it across from San Diego to Miami, and then I went to 4-Star Cargo, where they put it on a container ship and delivered it to the boatyard where my boat was smashed up in St. Martin. Financially, time-wise, it would have been a smarter move to walk away and maybe go charter a boat here or there, or sign up for a surf camp or this or that. Life would be so much easier, but maybe not as exciting.
I think Rick was a little crazy going to the length he did to put the boat back together, but it's a labor of love, and we love the ocean and sailing, and that boat, we know it so well. So what Rick wants to do with the boat, sailing it to the Pacific, this is the boat he wants to do it in. It's prepared for it.
It's just, you come in here with this New England work ethic and you just push, push, push. 6 months after Irma, we launched Alexander again, and she's as solid as ever. A 7-month trip started in St. Martin with a stop in Haiti to drop off relief supplies. Then 550 miles to Cartagena, Colombia, and onward to the Panama Canal. The Pacific journey started in Panama with myself, my daughter Maya, and my son Zach. A 1,000-mile trip across the equator to the Galapagos. We then had a 3,000 miles of open Pacific Ocean to the Marquesas. This took us 3 weeks of sailing. Once in French Polynesia, our dream trip to the South Pacific was complete.